thank God for bringing this opportunity in my life at such a time when, that was so unexpected, to have a loss in the family. So, but Assured for Life came to me last year in September. When it came to me, I really did not believe that a funeral plan could do something like what they said Assured for Life could do. So I immediately rejected it. It was on a Saturday. And so did a little research myself and a partner, and come to find out, everything sounded legit. And I'm not a person to procrastinate. So from Saturday to Monday or Tuesday, I was ready to sign up. I've had the plan for 7 months at the time that my mom passed away. I was 5 months into the plan. Over the next 2 months, my mother, after she got really ill, I found out that, the nurses and the doctors started telling me that they didn't think if she was going to make it. But anyway, I called Assure for Life on a Friday to find out what it was I was going to need to do. And I wouldn't have to pay for anything regarding the funeral, but I would be responsible for the burial and the plot if I was planning to bury. So then I began to share with him that I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and that I wanted my mom to be shipped to her home state, which was Illinois and St. Louis, Missouri area. And so he told me that they would take care of everything. So he did ask me for the name of the funeral home in Georgia that I wanted to use, and the funeral home in Missouri that I wanted to use. So I provided him with those two funeral homes. After that, he just told me if anything happens, just to call in on the 800 number, which was a 24-hour 800 number, and somebody would be able to assist me. That Monday, I get a call that my mom had passed away. And, the family came in and we had a little time with my mother. I called Assure for Life and got a representative on the line, and they already had the information that I requested in their system. That has to be the first call that you make is to Assure for Life. So I understood that. I called them. They got in touch with the funeral home. They told me that if I didn't get a call within 30 minutes that to give them a call back, but it was about 15 minutes. The funeral home called me, asked me if I wanted to use their service. I told them yes, and they actually came out, picked my mom up. And that day, Assure for Life, they gave me their condolences. They called me 2 or 3 times. The funeral home director who came in, the lady said she asked for if we were using insurance. I left my policies at home, checkbook at home. I only took the Assure for Life plan with me. So at that time, she didn't know what it was. So she went and made up an invoice. Well, after she made up the invoice and came back downstairs, we actually called Assure for Life on an 800 number. When we called, the gentleman picked up the phone and stated that he was waiting for my call and that they had already sent over emails to 2 people at the funeral home, which she knew who they were. And that was only a 5-minute or less call. So at that time, she said that she would be back to talk to us. She went upstairs or wherever to go talk to the 2 people who received the email. About 15 minutes later, she came in and told me with a packet and told me we did not have to do anything. She talked to Assure for Life and that they would be getting in touch with me. So that was all I had to do that day at the funeral home. My mom passed on a Monday, and this is Tuesday. I'm at the funeral home. So where I was on Wednesday. I was concerned about, how payment and everything was coming along. So I called the funeral home director on Wednesday afternoon, and she said that they had heard from Assure for Life, but they were reviewing the invoice.
I was the receiving funeral home for Ms. Reynolds. And my experience with Assure for Life was I was very pleased. I've heard about Assure for Life before Miss Reynolds passing, but I just really never looked into it because I also, like you said, I have a background in the funeral industry, and I also do pre-needs also. And I also do insurance. I have a background in insurance. And most times you're comfortable with what you know. I knew pre-need, I was comfortable with that. And I was okay with that. When Ms. Reynolds passed, I learned that she had Assure for Life. So Assure for Life called me. At the same token, Kevin had called me too. And then I spoke to Assure for Life, and he told me, "Hey, Tim, I'm going to be doing," because again, I know Kevin and the family down through the years. And he said, "I'm going to be doing the Assure for Life, using Assure for Life." I'm like, "I know," because they talked. I spoken to him, and what amazed me about Assure for Life was I spoke to the representative, to the young lady that I guess was the representative for Kevin, and she told me what she needed. She told me, she said, "I need an itemized bill of your services to receive Ms. Reynolds and all the products." And she said, "And you could just text it to me." And they kind of like, "What? You can just text it to you?" Because most people want you to email it or mail it via US mail or whatever. And she said, "Just text it to me." So I did. And after I did that, probably like 15 minutes later, another individual called, I guess probably in the accounting department, and we reviewed, and he and I reviewed the invoice. He told me, well, we were sending, the check out. No. He asked me, "Do your funeral home want it in a check form or on a credit card?" I said, "Do it in check form." And he said, "Okay, we're going to mail it out this day, and you'll have it by, so many days perhaps." And I was impressed because before I knew it, the check was in my hand. Within a matter of probably 3 to 4 days, the check was in my hand. Mark and I, we worked together. And when Mark, when Mark overheard a conversation that Kevin and I were having, and Kevin was saying about Assure for Life and everything, Mark said, "Hey, Tim, I've been hearing about Assure for Life." But he said, and I'm going to let him tell his own testimony and everything in his own experience. But he said, "Let's see what they do, and let's see if they're going to do what they say and everything." And he said, "and that's going to determine if I get involved." Now, Assure for Life, they paid for everything they said they were going to pay for. And I was impressed. And when the check came, and when Mark found out about it, he's like, "We're in." We're in. Now I am a Assure for Life consultant. I want to get more involved with it and learn more about it. Because again, I'm a new individual, and I'm new with Assure for Life. So I want to learn more about it, and probably more ways I can even introduce it. Because Mark and I even talked about having a seminar or something, having some workshops and everything. So I look forward to learning more and working with you all as time goes. And thank you for this space and time.
But I was just telling the story about how fast things happened with me from the first funeral home that we went to. Mom passed on a Monday, and I went down to the funeral home on Tuesday. And by Thursday, the funeral home called me telling me that they had Assure for Life had paid them that morning by credit card. And the finance person was so excited. So excited. And she told me the only thing I had to pay was $20. Can you imagine this? So my mom, after I told them what I wanted, my mom was being embalmed in Georgia and shipped to St. Louis, Missouri. And my cost in Georgia, which was so much relief for me, was $20. So when she told me that, I told my wife, I said, "You got your credit card?" I was so ready to pay $20, And after that, I called Assure for Life and thanked them. I was so happy and so excited. And I was texting the lady that I was dealing with. I asked her, I said, "Well, what about the plane ticket?" Because my wife was so worried about that plane ticket. But after the funeral home called me and I paid my portion, and they sent me my invoice by email, the lady that I had been dealing with Assure for Life told me to send her over a copy of my driver's license and the flight that I wanted to take and my email address. So I immediately done that. And to my surprise, within 15 minutes, I had my plane ticket back in my email, and my wife was able to go out and purchase her plane ticket. So you know how skeptic we are. Y'all know some of us are like that now. I went on to Southwest to upgrade my ticket to be sure it was real, and it was real. So I have you know that I had my plane ticket, and you heard Timothy's side. So we flew to St. Louis to funeralize my mother, and everything funeral wise was taken care of. I had to pay for the plot, but all the way to the graveyard, everything that we needed was taken care of. And I always tell people that I was able to come back to my hometown, Georgia, not owing any money. And oh, what a great feeling it was to know that Assure for Life took care of everything that I needed for this funeral. This is a wonderful, wonderful plan. You know, what else is there out there for one price that can cover like 7 people? You know, so this is awesome.
Doesn't exist.
I'm not going to go on, Miss Wilhelmina, because you know I'm very excited about life and what they have done for me and for my family. There are other people on this phone tonight that have purchased the plan.
Yes.
And there's a few people on this phone tonight that are getting ready to get a plan because I invited them. I wanted them to hear more about how the plan works and what it did for me.
So thank you all. I'll be brief. My name is Mark Shelton, and I am a funeral service professional here in St. Louis, Missouri. And you've heard the story from Kevin and from Tim Burr, who is my co-worker and funeral service professional colleague. We both work in the funeral industry here in St. Louis for the funeral home that serviced Kevin and his family. I first heard of Insure for Life on Facebook. And I just kind of ignored it, did a little research, and thought to myself that this could not be possible because in the state of Missouri, you have to have a license to do anything in the funeral industry, be it pre-need or funeral directing or anything like that. So I just didn't think it was possible. And as Tim Burr has said, when he was working with Kevin and Insure for Life, we were sitting in the office, and I just overheard the conversation. And when I heard the word Insure for Life, I got up out of my chair, walked over to Tim. I said, if that's real, I'm in. If they give us a check, I'm in. I want a plan. I also have a background in insurance, life insurance, and real estate. So I do understand protecting your family. And I wanted a plan to protect my family to pay for funeral expenses. So as Tim has said, when Kevin processed his plan with Insure for Life, they came in from another state, paid for all of that. That check came within 3 to 4 days. Tim showed me the check. He said, Mark, this is real. They have paid this funeral home. Me and Tim worked the funeral service. Kevin came to St. Louis. I got a chance to meet him. I had never met him and his family. And we laid his loved one to rest. And we did our best. Kevin, we're still praying for you and your family. But from then on, it was a matter of a week or less than a week. I said, Tim, are you in yet? Sign me up. I got the plan, put 7 of my family members, my wife, my 3 children, my grandchildren, we're all covered with the plan. We have a plan to start. Now we're business consultants with Insure for Life. We're going to start offering this service to people that we come in contact with every day who don't have a way to pay for their funeral expenses. So we are super excited about what we just started and this opportunity. For those of you on this call for the first time, you may have done some research, you may have Googled it, YouTubed it, found out whatever information, but we are here to tell you from one state to another, from Georgia to Missouri, this plan has been, funeral homes have been paid, funerals have been done, and we are ready